So travel involves a lot of planning and a lot of moving pieces. From planning your flights, hotels, restaurants, your activities, it's a lot to keep in order. So that's why in this video, we're gonna review our favorite travel apps that help keep us organized and help us see as much as we can when we travel. I find a lot of people already know about a few of these apps, but they do not use all the features. So I'll also include a little bit of a tutorial on how to use these apps to their full potential.
Now we're Kendra and David of Lucas World Travel. We sold everything to pursue our travel dreams and travel the world. We hope that these tips will help you live your travel dreams as well. The first app is a must, and you probably have it on your phone right now, and that is Google Maps. I like Google Maps because it's so versatile. It'll take you places by foot, by car, by local transportation. Its public transportation directions are so accurate, you'll feel like a local even though you're a perfect stranger to the city you're in.
And one feature that I really like about Google Maps that I find not everybody uses is the saved feature. So what I like to do is put my whole itinerary into Google Maps. I also make little notes about the places I want to go because I'll forget the details. I want to go see this on Tuesday. Check out this restaurant that's by this place. And I put all those notes into Google Maps. And that way it's so much easier to not have to look 2 places for my itinerary. And with a few clicks, I could be heading to the destination instead of trying to read a schedule from the calendar or from a document. It's all in one place and it makes life so much easier. Rome to Rio is another essential navigation app. It's very good at giving you options on how to get from city to city, country to country. For example, it'll give you options on how to take the ferry, how to take a taxi, how to take a minivan. It'll give you options you never would have thought of before. And that gives you so much freedom to decide what's best for you. A lot of the times we will decide to just go ahead and fly to a place, but we found great bus options as well this way that are very inexpensive, and you get to see more of the scenery when you do take the bus or the train option.
We also like Google Translate. When you travel internationally, language is sometimes a problem. In most cases, it's a problem. Google Translate has saved our life more than once.
More than once.
In Vietnam, when communication was breaking down, I spoke the information into the app and the other person understood immediately.
Yeah, in Vietnam, they were about to put us into a very unnecessary quarantine. We got our Google Translate, spoke what we meant, and they immediately understood us, and it saved us from being locked in a hotel room for 14 days. So when I say it can save your life, it really can save your life. Oh my goodness, those people scared us half to death. In Thailand, the camera feature is so useful for reading signs and for reading packages. So that's a must when you travel. Now, if you don't just want to go around surviving the country you're in, and you actually want to learn the language, I found an app that I love for that, and it's called Ling App. Ling App has over 60 different languages. So I'm using it right now to learn Thai, and it's so useful because they have it all written out clearly in Thai, and you can skip around as much as you want to. You don't have to go in a set order that's boring and not interesting to you. And I love that it has features that train you how to write the characters. And it's quite strict. You really have to make all the lips just right for you to get it correct. And it trains your speaking skills. And again, very strict. You have to pronounce it just right to get it correct. So I found using this app has been so helpful. And I like that when we leave Thailand, maybe our next stop is Croatia. Well, this app also has Croatian. There's not very many apps that have these less popular language already in the system. So I like that as I country hop, I can learn the language of whatever country that I'm in. So if you're interested in getting Ling App, you can check the link out in the description box below. Highly recommend it.
For taxi apps, we really like Uber, Lyft, and Grab. Now, you probably already know about Uber and Lyft, but if you're coming to Asia, you definitely need to download Grab. We've used Grab to get around both Vietnam and Thailand. One of the unique features that Grab has is it estimates how much a fare should cost, especially in a place like Vietnam, because Vietnam have what we call taxi scams sometimes, and you can easily pay 2 or 3 times as much. In this situation, you can use the Grab app even when you're working with non-affiliated taxis, and that way you can estimate what your fare should be.
So Grab really gives you some knowledge so that you can negotiate better fares with taxi drivers. I find that you'll never get the Grab rate with a taxi driver, but at the very least, it will prevent you from paying that double charge or the triple charge that the taxi drivers are trying to scam you with. When you're planning travel, it's so important to figure out what sites you want to see and what activities you're going to do. And for that, we highly recommend TripAdvisor and Klook. Now, TripAdvisor has been around for decades, and you probably already use them. But I highly recommend that you use their feature where you can save your itineraries. So if you're going to Japan, save a whole Japan itinerary. You can even schedule it out by day. So it keeps you nice and organized. I kind of do double duty here. I always put things back in Google Maps, like I said, so I have an easy way to navigate to these things. But I love that TripAdvisor has those top 10 lists of things you should see in the city, and it has loads of reviews about each activity, so you get a good idea of what you can expect and if these places are worth going. And I love Klook because they offer both transportation options and really fun tours and activities. We use Klook all the time to get private transfers from the airport to our hotel. So I highly recommend those private transfers and their tours. Super fun and very inexpensive. But if you'd like to get $5 off your first booking with Klook, you can check the link out in the description box below as well.
Another must is a currency converter. You always want to know how much money you're spending, and you always want to be sure that you're staying within your budget. So a currency converter really comes in handy. We like Units Plus because it does that and so much more. It also converts kilometers to miles. It also converts Fahrenheit to Celsius. So as Americans, we haven't mastered the metric system yet. And so this is very important. This is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort.
For accommodations, my favorite app is Expedia. We're a little bit picky about our accommodations.
Some of my friends are.
We don't just like to stay any old place. So for me, a lot of these websites just don't give enough information. For example, like the bed size. They won't distinguish between a double bed, a queen bed, and a king bed. And to me, there's a huge difference in a double bed and a king bed. I remember the last time we stayed on a double bed, I don't think I got a wink of sleep. I was like, get off of me. I was like, I love you, but I want my space when I'm sleeping. I find Expedia has the most information out of all the websites, and they're also quite cheap. And Expedia is not just for hotels only. There's loads of condo options, apartment options, and I dare say the selection rivals Airbnb. Plus, Expedia has better cancellation terms and easier check-in processes because it's more streamlined and it's not just individuals renting out their places. It's more business oriented. So I really like that about Expedia.
It's very important to know the type of traveler you are. Before we left America, one of the things for me was like, I'm not a backpacker. I don't want to stay in hostels. I like my privacy. I want my own room. I want my own bathroom. That's my thing. So, I mean, we know that that's different for everyone. People want to travel on the cheap, especially backpackers and climbers and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that, especially when you're on a budget, but you want to see as much as you want to see. So these suggestions are what our taste recommends. For communication, I highly recommend WhatsApp. Now, many of you already know about WhatsApp, but it's a commonly free messaging system that you can use while you're traveling abroad. A lot of hotels and taxi drivers will ask you for your WhatsApp number, for your pickup times, and different things like this. I highly recommend that you go ahead and set up WhatsApp before you leave, especially if you have close friends and relatives that you want to stay in touch with while you're abroad. If they have WhatsApp, you can talk to them freely. This was something we found once we landed in Thailand. We tried their local SIM cards, and we found them to be super cheap and very reliable. When you get local SIM cards, when you travel abroad, they're offered usually at the airports or convenience stores. You can put those SIM cards inside your phone and you'll have great data or internet access.
Yeah, the only thing about these local SIM cards, though, is that it changes your phone number, so people at home can't contact you. So if you're going to be country hopping and don't want to change your SIM card in every country, it's highly worth changing your mobile service to Google Fi. We loved Google Fi when we were country hopping quite frequently because you don't have to change your phone number, you don't have to change your SIM card. Once you land in a new country, it takes Google Fi about 2 minutes to set up your data, and it works perfectly, just like you were at home. So we love that option. It made traveling so easy because we were never without data. So we can highly recommend that option. Now for researching flights, I do like to check out Skyscanner. Because we still want to see over 90 countries, we're pretty flexible about where we want to go next. So we can let price be our driver. We can put in where we are now and just look at all the different options of where we could go next that's affordable. Now, really and truly, I only use Skyscanners for ideas, research purposes. So I'll use Skyscanner to see which airlines are having cheap deals. I'll go to the airline itself and I'll book through the airline's website. I do this because I've had bad experience booking third party for airplane tickets. Sometimes you get to the airport and something's happened and the ticket agent is like, I can't change your ticket. You're going to have to call your travel agent and have them change it. And that's just so annoying. You have your ticket agent over here and they won't change your ticket and you got to get on the phone and sit there and stress out on hold waiting for your travel agent to pick up and change it. I don't like dealing with that. So I book directly through the airline, and that way I get better communication as well. The airline sends you emails when your gates change, when the times change, so I'm not inconvenienced. For travel and medical insurance, we like SafetyWing because it's really easy to get the coverage you need for unexpected travel problems like canceled flights, any illness while you're away from home. Nowadays, since the pandemic, even some immigration requirements require you to have medical insurance to get into the country. So SafetyWing does a good job at providing you the documents you need to even clear immigration when it's required. And they do have plans that cover COVID-19 related illness. So if you're interested in getting a quote on how much that would be for you, check it out in the link below.
So, although we travel together, we're very different people. But for entertainment, we like some of the same things. We like Netflix, we like Audible. For me, I'm a music lover. I take my music everywhere. I exercise to music. And so I'm always listening to Spotify. Spotify is an unlimited music account that I have, and I can listen to any type of music anywhere.
Travel really does involve a lot of downtime. So you want to make sure you download the shows and movies you like to your Netflix before you leave so you can watch them on the airplane, even if you're in airplane mode. Also, download your favorite games so you can have something fun to do when you're on that 16-hour flight that never seems to end. So the links to everything we mentioned are in the description box below and in our full blog article. You can check out our blog on lucasworldtravel.com. Well, those are our top travel apps. Let us know in the comments below if you learned about any new apps or any new features. And also share with us the apps you find most helpful when you're planning your travel trips as well. If you enjoyed these tips, please remember to give the video a like and hit the red subscribe button. Next week, we're coming out with our packing for long-term travel tips. And we'll be back to our travel vlogs. We'll be going caving and kayaking very soon and sharing all of those adventures with you guys. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sharing and helping the channel to grow. And happy travel planning until next week. Bye, guys.
I think I said that right.